Today's class is going to be all done in a prone position, which just means we're going to be facing down the whole time, either on our hands and knees or on our belly. And we're going to be doing some spinal movement, some flexion, and some small extensions of our back. And I hope you enjoy. Let's begin in a prone position on all fours on our hands and knees. So let's begin with our alignment. So checking that your shoulders are directly over your wrists or your hands and your knees are directly under your hips. That is that nice quadruped all fours position. For now, your feet can just be relaxed, or if it feels better, you can have your toes tucked, whatever feels best to you. Okay, and then let's do some breath, of course. So breathing in some air through the nose. Feel your belly expand, and it might even have this like hanging sensation. Okay, I know that seems strange, but you're letting air come in and your belly and ribs are expanding. And then as you exhale, you should feel your ribs contract, belly contract. Try it again. Inhale and exhale. Do you feel that? Okay, try to maintain that position of the belly pulling up and in. And let's go into a cat and cow. So cat and cow is also incorporating your breath. So starting with an inhale, let your belly expand, and then exhale, you're gonna round your back, tuck your tailbone underneath you, and let your head just hang. So you're pushing your mid-back up to the ceiling. And then inhale, untuck your tailbone, right? Tailbone's here, untuck it, come into a cow, which is a flat, more of a little bit of an arch, but think of just your chest reaching forward. And then exhale, round your back, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, lengthen forward, and find that little baby arch of the low back. Okay, 2 more like that. Inhale, exhale, round. Really push that mid back up to the ceiling. Let your head hang. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, lower back down. And then find that nice neutral flat back position. Okay, belly's pulling up and in. And we're gonna just start by reaching one of our legs out back behind us. And then check that your shoulders are still over your wrists and your knees are over your hips. Knees are under your hips. All right, let's start by lifting that leg up and reach it back behind you. Now, when you lift your leg up, try not to rotate your hip over open, but rather try to keep both hip bones pointing down to the mat. And just keep your leg lifted. If you'd like to add an opposite arm leg reach. So the opposite arm is gonna reach forward and you're just pushing the mat away, just holding this nice opposite arm and leg reach. Little addition here would be some pulses. So pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Good. Shake out the wrists a little bit. I know it can get a little wristy. We're just going to do 1 more and then we will be off of our wrist. Okay, let's do the other side. So opposite leg reaches back. Keep your hips squared towards the mat and then lift that leg up, reach it back behind you. Try to keep a nice straight leg. Your foot doesn't have to be pointed. It can be however feels comfortable to you. If you want to add that challenge, reach that opposite arm in front. Just keep your head in line with your spine. Don't have it up or hanging down. And then if you'd like to add those pulses, we're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6. When you do this, keep the core really still. Try not to move too much in the center. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Widen the knees into a child's pose. Sit back over your heels, reach your arms forward, and maybe rest your head on the mat if that feels good. And just take a few deep breaths. Last one. Very good. Okay, coming down onto our belly now. So we're gonna lay on our belly and we're gonna do a little back extension, just small. So have your hands basically right underneath your shoulders, okay? And you can rest your forehead on the mat. I want you to start by pressing your hip bones into the mat and slightly tuck your tailbone under, right? So you wanna think of like your belly button is lifted a little bit towards your spine, and you're supporting that low back in that position, okay? So let's do a baby swan. That's what it's called. Start with that breath, inhale. And then as you lift your head, neck, and chest, you're gonna keep your forearms on the mat. So just lift up just to about here, and then lower back down. Try to keep those hips pushing into the mat, and also keeping that belly engaged. Okay, breathe in, and then lift the head, neck, and chest. Lower back down. Okay, let's add on, if you'd like to go a little bit higher into your swan or back extension, you can lift up higher on this next one. So breathe in, push those hips into the mat, and then lift your head, neck, and chest. Think of trying to beam your breastbone forward as you lift up. Think of pulling the mat back, and then if you'd like to go higher, push into your hands and lift as high as it feels good to you in your low back. Bend your elbows, lower back down. 2 more. Inhale. Now the breath does change based on each person, basically. I like to personally exhale as I come up. Some people find it better to inhale as they come up. So maybe play around with the breath. Inhaling as you come up, you would exert all the air out, and then inhale and lengthen yourself up. So play around with the breath and see if you can even notice what feels better to you. Okay, right here, you're not flaring your ribs, and I really have to squeeze my glutes to help support my low back. Last one. Tuck that tailbone just a little bit. Press into your arms. Gaze is forward. And lower back down. Very good. Okay, let's finish with swimming. So, still on your belly. You're gonna reach your arms out forward. Your legs are back, obviously, behind you, but I want you to lift them up just a little bit. So push your hips into the mat, lift your legs a little bit, and then your head is going to hover just a little bit over the mat. Reach your arms up. Starting with your right arm and your left leg. Lift them up a little bit higher, lower them back down, and then switch. And switch. And each time you do this, you are trying to keep your core very still. And then if you'd like to progress it, you can add on by going faster. So it looks like this. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Good, and now you're swimming. Good, let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. I always like to do a child's pose after that, so push yourself up, widen those knees, sit back over your heels, and reach your arms forward, and breathe. Very good. Hey, well, I hope you're feeling good, and I'll see you back here soon.